All right, so thanks for joining us for the update. There is a lot that's happened since 2019 when we started the foundation. If y'all remember, for those that were around, we had several of you here, but we've grown immensely since we've met the last time. And obviously, with COVID, we had to kind of postpone this conference here, which then we've grown even more. One of our goals is to be as transparent as possible. And so every single time we have one of these meetings, we want to make sure that we're giving you guys an update on where the money is going. In addition to our annual updates, if you've donated throughout the year, we will have end of year. And then during our awareness month, we also have a kind of summary of sorts that shows you everything that's kind of happened throughout that year. But we wanted to take this time very quickly just to run through some of the things, the accomplishments that we have created as a community more broadly, and that the foundation's been working on based off of the feedback that we've received from you all in the community. We still want to be receiving feedback, so we definitely want you all to continue to give that to us. info@hadds.org is the best place to do it. But we'll go ahead and jump in here since we have very limited in time. I'm going to hand this to Mark.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mark Lemaire. For those that met or know or just met or hopefully can meet here before the end of the conference. Just to kind of give a little bit of a rundown, as far as our mission and vision, what we put the foundation, we were forming the foundation, and a lot of the tenets that we wanted to really operate by is mission and vision. I mean, for kind of at its essence is community and connection. So that's access, that's to people, that's it's the support of the families that you see here, the families that are virtually with us, and then really across the globe, as well as access to providers. And so you guys have seen a number of those, and hopefully now you have a little bit more insight into the kind of what's available, who may be available, and that sort of thing. In addition to access to people, access to knowledge, so research, that's investment through your participation in the research that's going on for HADDS, making things easily digestible, like the current information, both for families, for us, and for providers. And then as far as access to resources, so why, what, who, as far as therapies, providers, so forth. And really a big goal of ours is to provide some perspective, help to provide a clear path for that of hope and progress for community. Values, and you guys can see that. I mean, really, it's we are you are us. Ethical and financial responsibility as far as the board goes. It's really the golden rule. We treat this and we treat really everything that we're doing here just like, it's part of our lives as much as it is for you folks as well. So that's one commitment. Obviously, community access, progress. We are committed to all those things as the board, and I know that you guys are as well, just in through your participation as well. And then lastly, inclusion and collaboration. Really just to foster, promote, influence that sense of belonging and hope through the foundation. So I'll hand it back over to Mallory.
So I forgot to mention, each of the board members is going to be presenting today so that you guys can kind of hear from us and see a little bit about what each of the projects we've been working on. We have had a pretty significant list of accomplishments collaboratively as a community, and we've just kind of put these up. Some of them were earlier on. We obviously didn't do the whole exome sequencing or any of that NIH could discover, but we wanted to kind of showcase everything that has led up to this point, this discovery of HADDS. And then as we look into our founding, which was in February of 2019, we've rolled right into the conferences. We've launched the HADDS Plaid initiative actually at the last conference. So that was kind of fun and early on. We've published help support Kat Morita with the Abled Same But Different book and sponsoring that so that we would have a voice in the community and a way to explain and kind of help encourage diversity and inclusion in the classrooms, helping other children to understand what HADDS is and how to be welcoming. We've launched the social circles, which is an opportunity for people that can't join us here to be able to connect online on Zoom. The HADDS Run, which we'll talk about in just a moment, is an opportunity for you to raise in your community awareness and just kind of celebrate the abilities of our community. And then the Social Clinic Weekend is the other event that we have in person here in Houston. And then we've released the HADDS info packet, which is actually on the table. And we did put a link if you are interested in buying a purchased book bound copy of it. And then we just supported the most recently, the recent publication, which we'll talk about a little bit later as well. This is our board. So I'm the president. We have EBF3 Prasad, that is the vice president, Ashley Lemaire, who you've seen kind of emceeing the event, my husband, David, Tamia Rayner, who is a board member, Mark, you've heard from, and Melissa Slick. Prior to this, we had our founding board, which had John Walton, who is Ashley Lemaire's father. He had helped start many boards in the past, as well as Kelly and Paul Maston, who served in our also founding families. I know that many of you guys love the Mastons as much as we do, and we wanted to make sure that you were seeing both who's on it now and who really helped kind of get this off the ground so that we could have this conference that we have today. Yep.
Hi, everyone. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about how you can join our mission here as a board member. So going over some of the details. So the commitment is 1 year. Applications are actually due August 21st if you're interested in this time around. The average time commitment is about 1 to 2 hours a month, but when we have an event coming up, it might be a little bit more than that, but nothing, we're all working parents and we handle it really well. It doesn't really take away anything from our family or our work life. Anyone with a connection to HADDS is eligible to join and apply. And being able to attend meetings the first Wednesday of the month in our central time zone here is something that for some, you guys here, hopefully is something you can do. And if you're committed to advocacy, fundraising, event planning, and the foundation's mission, vision, and values, maybe this is for you. So please find one of us, connect with us, ask us questions to see if this is right for you. If this is not the capacity that you can join with, maybe it is a little too much for you, we can talk about other avenues where you can support our mission as well. So I will go ahead and pass it off to Mel.
All right, so we've had a lot of growth and it's pretty exciting. Given, I think that when we first started in the couple of research papers, I think there was probably less than 20. When we started the foundation and we took a poll and started counting who was in the social groups and who was part of Dr. Challenwingler's research study, we found that we had around 125 people. Today, we have over 200. There are even more that are not connected socially to us or inside of these studies here based at Texas Children's. But it's pretty significant. We've grown 66% since our last conference, which is just incredible. We've gone from 13 countries to 33. That's a growth of 20. And the US states, we've gone from 24 to 36, so an additional 12 states. We did just have 2 weeks ago our first African country join on, and in Tunisia, and we have an island off the African coast as well. So combination of that kind of represents a new continent that we're adding. We've had a couple of family members as well that have been adopted into, they were diagnosed with HADDS and more recently adopted by families who have taken them into their forever home. So pretty exciting stuff happening inside of our community as we grow. Pass this off to Ashley.
All right, so part of being in the community is having the in-person connections, this being a huge one. So having the conferences, which our goal is to have every other year. The purpose of that is really to allow increased time for there to be further research developments and clinical updates. We also understand that it's a huge time and financial commitment to be able to come here, but we really want to encourage people to come in person. That's how we get to know each other and connect and share stories. So that's one aspect of it. In between conferences, though, we do want to encourage in-person kind of get-together. So we'll have social clinic weekends. We're tossing around the idea of maybe having them in different locations, different regions, so that there's opportunities for people to travel not so far. We don't always have to have them in Houston. And as part of that, if you're ever interested in hosting, kind of taking the lead on a social clinic weekend or a social for HADDS for our community, we would absolutely love that. Reach out to us. We're happy to help provide some of the financial support for that endeavor and help with getting the word out. So please, if you have ideas, if you're interested in participating in that, let us know.
So as Ashley said, of course, we would love to see you guys in person, but we also understand that sometimes we can't always get to be in person. And I know one of the things that has really helped me is just a sense of community, whether near or far. And so one of the speakers said it really good when she said having that digital village. And so basically that's what we would like to do. So we definitely want to encourage those connections, whether they are virtual or not. And one of the things that has been very successful for us has been the HADDS in Motion Run, which Melissa will talk about later. And another thing that we've been doing are the social clinics. Our next social clinic will be September the 11th, 3 p.m. Central, as well as November the 5th, 7 p.m. Central. So that's just a time for us to come together on Zoom and kind of informally meet, bond, support. We discuss different topics. And so it's something that I definitely love doing because, you're meeting parents and you're getting to talk to the children and just see what everything is all about. Our last conference, of course, we've been able to do in person, of course, but then for those who can't attend, we're also able to offer virtual, which has helped a lot of people be able to get that information that they normally wouldn't be able to get. And another avenue, many of us have come together, of course, via social media. Like that's how we all, for the most part, have met each other, and just being able to have that digital community or that digital village on social media, Facebook, Instagram. Has just been helpful. So we want to encourage those connections and continue to build those connections with you guys virtually.
Okay, so I know we're a little bit short on time, so I was going to talk a little bit more about this, but please, look at our resources page. We have Understanding HADDS packet that has a lot of helpful information in there. It's really thorough, but also the HADDS quick guide is translated in multiple languages. If you happen to know a language that is not already translated, please contact us and maybe you can support us that way. And that takes a little bit less of your time, but you're still helping the foundation out. And then, of course, there's HADDS Goes to School. It's a really good resources in there. There's coloring pages, drawing, activities that the class can do together to support your child with HADDS as well. And I am going to pass it to me again.
Okay, so raise awareness and share your story. I know that many times, especially on social media, you'll read a story and you'll say, I feel like I'm reading my own story. And that's how we advocate for our kids and ourselves. So we would love to hear your story. If you have one, or if you want to share, you can go to our HADDS website as well as, or possibly download the Thank You app. Click the HADDS Foundation and tell your story. You can offer as much information as you would like or not. You can add pictures, you can add videos. So we would love to hear your story. And this is also the opportunity to shout out someone who has helped you along this journey. I know for me, my pediatrician has been such a big voice with this. So if you would like to shout out one of your doctors or somebody on one of your resources team or even the research team, we would love to hear that as well. So please consider sharing your story. We would love to hear it.
And I'm here to talk to you about our third annual HADDS in Motion race that's going to be coming up. We're going to kind of kick it off with our social Zoom on September 11th. So hope y'all can join us and then we can go and register from there. We're using a new platform this year and we're really excited about it. It's going to be very streamlined, user friendly. I think hopefully it can bring all of us together more globally. It's going to be interactive with like a world map, so everybody can from all over the world can see where everybody is participating. I think it's going to be really great. This is always, this is a third one we're going to be having here. It has been our most successful fundraising event so far. So hopefully we can build off of that, keep it going, raise awareness, and look for more information coming soon. Hopefully in the next month, August, kind of start watching. You can watch our Facebook. Also on the website, there'll be more information to come in the next coming weeks. So yeah, getting excited.
All right, Mark.
Okay, so something that I think that a lot of folks here have participated in is our giving and really the goals towards that giving. So we definitely appreciate, and really the foundation critical to its mission are the donations from you folks, from your families, from the people that care about supporting and progressing the objectives of our foundation, our mission. So that being said, donations really, the big things are just, confidence. We want you to be confident that, you're donating, and really be very, very transparent, provide options, and make it as easy as possible. So the board, we settled on essentially kind of these percentages. And generally and that was kind of allocated based on need. So 40% of of donations really are kind of allocated towards community materials and support. So that's access to information like health literacy resources. It's access to research. There's a travel grants for those that are in need. To travel to HADDS clinics for participation and visiting Houston. 30% supporting research. That's primarily giving to the global EBF3 HADDS related research initiatives that are ongoing. You guys have seen a little bit of that here on Thursday, when the foundation presented a $25,000 check to the Chow Lab. 25% conference events, shops. That's really what makes what we're doing here today possible. So support for this conference, regional gatherings, which were touched on here, and then foundation sponsored events. And then lastly, some monies that are set aside to basically just to pay for websites, supplies, marketing, banking, tax stuff that we have to do for, from a kind of keep the foundation running. So, but the focus there is to be lean and efficient with all of those, right? And really to focus as much as we can on, our big objectives. So, again, choice is yours. You've got options. We're very appreciative of all the giving. General donations are allocated by these percentages, but you can also direct to these different areas as well. Again, donations are critical to ensure the foundation's mission, a vision of community connection, knowledge, and progress. So thanks to all of you for everything you've done. I'll turn it over to Dave.
Thanks, Mark. Good afternoon, everyone. Or good morning or good evening, wherever you are. So I'm the treasurer for the foundation currently, and so for the last 2 years. And so what Mal and I try to do at the end of every HADDS month is kind of wrap up everything for the previous year and come up with a donor impact report, kind of touch about how much we raised, what times of the month we typically saw the most giving, what are some creative ways folks did a lot of fundraising, and kind of time where we tried to deploy a lot of those funds raised. Today, we've raised over, and we also do an end of year update as well. And how are we doing? Let's do a giving roll up. Well, 3 years in, we've had over 500 donors globally from over 13 countries, many in this room, many listening at home, from family members here on our board. We've invested. I know a lot of you have friends, family, colleagues, and we are so grateful. You guys have driven this. It's about all of us contributing, and we're going to need that support to continue to drive research and community building moving forward. So we're extremely grateful. So thank you. So today, collectively, over 3 years, we've raised over 176,000. We've deployed about a little over 90,000 of that. And of that 90,000, here's a breakdown of where we're trying to deploy it. As Mark touched on, that's kind of the goal. And here's where we actually sit. Our administrative costs are well within the range of what we want. That includes things like office supplies, QuickBooks, tax prep, Adobe Photoshop, those sorts of things. Resources, we actually are way under where we'd like to be. It's actually probably closer to 10% if you include the travel grants. But today we've been able to support every travel grant for every family who's wanted to attend. And so we have some room to do that. And that's our goal moving forward, to help every family who wants to be here, has some demonstrated need to be here. We have not spent a lot of resources because we did the info packet, but that was all volunteer work. Mallory and I did, with a lot of editing for Kelly Maston, along with Dr. Chow, Dr. Wengler, Dr. Stanisil, along with the rest of the board supporting that, along with the quick guide. So that was just all volunteer time. So that didn't cost anything. What is going to cost things for those resources moving forward is, like we touched on, is trying to translate. That could be 1,000 or a couple thousand to do accurate medical translation. So that's our next goal, and where we hope to deploy money so we can help families globally who really, they and their doctors who are newly diagnosed, really need that information so they can be screened and interdict early. Another thing we try to do is support research. And today, well, our goal is 30%. We're overrepresented at about 55% of our donations. To date, we've raised and donated 50,000 that we've given to Dr. Chow's HADDS lab, the only one of its kind in the world. And you're probably wondering, why is it so high? Well, we give folks the option to give generally, where we try to reach this goal allocation where their donations go, or they can give directly. And we've had some larger donors, small and large donors, give generously, but they wanted those specifically to go to research. So we've tried to honor that and make sure we give it to Dr. Chow's lab. And then also community building is a huge part. And so I think we're overrepresented, and we're proud to say I think we're doing a good job in that area. A lot of that has to come down to the social clinic weekends and the conference. And there's a lot of food, supplies, the event space, swag bags, t-shirts, childcare programs, photos. So it adds up quick. But we're proud to do it, and we think this is one of the most important parts of what we do as a community. It also includes the HADDS in Motion Fun Run that Melissa Slick heads up. That's a huge fundraiser, but also builds community. And there's a lot of costs incurred with that. T-shirts, medals, mailings, so big investments. Everything that we buy for the HADDS shop, there's costs incurred there, as well as mailings. And so moving forward, we are going to try to curtail by consolidating and working with the platform to do the HADDS in Motion run. We're also going to try to limit the HADDS shop to strictly awareness ribbons and work with Custom Ink or Vistaprint so you can buy directly from those folks. It'll save us a little bit of bandwidth and money on shipping. So for things for the HADDS shop. So that's one of our goals, where we can reallocate some of our funds towards more travel grants, towards more research, and towards the conference more. We've also, community building, we spent $1,000 to support the ABLE book. Give a lot of credit to Paul Maston and Kelly Maston, who worked with the Maritas to get that going. And they came to the board and said, hey, can we invest and support that publication? We said, absolutely. I think it's huge. So we're proud to do that. So that's where we are at this moment. So I'm going the wrong direction. Now I'm just going to give it over to Yvette.
All right, Dave touched on travel grants a little bit earlier, but just to give you guys an update on that, travel grants are to support our mission of community education and research. So far, $6,500 is what we've been able to give to families, 5 international and 3 domestic. Our goal is, of course, to give more and at a higher value, especially for the people traveling internationally. It costs a lot more to get here if you're traveling, from another country. And then we also have the Louis Danks travel grant. So he was the first loss in our community, and we share in his family's grief. So I just wanted to read just the bottom portion here of something that his mom wrote. Louis came home in February, and it was a dream come true. He was the most perfect, happy baby, always playing, smiling, and kicking his legs. Sadly, in July, Louis fell ill and unexpectedly passed away at 7 months old. There are no words to describe how we feel, but we are so grateful for the time we had with him and everything he taught us. We appreciate all the support we received from the amazing HADDS community and gain some comfort in knowing that the money raised in Louis' memory will go towards aiding research and helping other families. So The Louis Danks grant will be for the next 3 years is what it was funded for, and we're very grateful for that. Thank you. And then Ashley, closing up.
All right, so we'll finish with this. I know we've talked about this a bit, but I just really want to emphasize how important it is. We really consider, if you haven't already, participating in research. This is a big goal for our organization, for the foundation, and where our money goes to help fund this. The research that is ongoing has really helped make these conferences meaningful because they are actively doing work in clinic and also in these studies to help us understand HADDS and what the next steps are going to be. And so it's going to take all of our continued participation in the studies, coming to clinic, so that our research teams can continue to get to know our community and understand what's going on and research it. So it's really important that you continue to participate. We're so fortunate to have this research team. There are many rare disease communities that would like hope and pray for a team of such productive researchers to take an interest in their particular disorder and to be so active and also collaborative with the community. So please know how fortunate we are. And so we want to maintain the momentum with our participation and our funds. And thank you all who have already participated. So next up, I think they need no further introduction. Dr. Chow and Dr. Wengler to answer questions and maybe give a brief update on future research.